Police reform is hardly a new discussion on the Hill.
We want to know how widespread is police misconduct in Los Angeles and nationwide.
Where can African Americans, Latinos turn for help when they believe that the men and women in uniform cannot be trusted?
I'm tired of hearing women, Maxine, say that they don't want to bring a black male into this world because they are afraid of what will happen to him. I hear that over and over and over again.
I'm here to ask you to make it stop. Stop the pain. Stop us from being tired. George called for help and he was ignored. Please listen to the call I'm making to you now, to the calls of our family and the calls ringing out the streets across the world.
Pushed by public outcry, Democrats and Republicans have been optimistic that this time a deal could be reached. But when that will happen is now unknown, as a May 25th deadline set by President Biden approaches.
Is it your sense that this is still alive and well?
Absolutely. Deadlines are artificially made more often than they're not. So I don't know. The only thing that March 25th is all about is an anniversary day. So what would be the big thing if we were done on the 26th and not the 25th?
Are there any parts of this bill that you see Senate Republicans or House Republicans too favor?
The majority of the bill, including the police officers. So the Fraternal Order of Police supports the idea of national standards. They've been trying to get standards for policing for a long time, but they've been going department by department. It would be much easier if the standards were set by the federal government so they don't have to lobby 18,000 police departments. There's a lot of parts of the bill that are supported, very few areas where there is major contention.
It appears there's also bipartisan support for the creation of a national database that would flag problematic officers, and there's support for policies on no-knock warrants and chokeholds. But the argument over qualified immunity, the legal doctrine shielding government officials, including officers, from civil suits, remains to be the holdup. Democrats want to end that type of immunity, and Republican Senator Tim Scott, who is spearheading reform talks on his side of the aisle, has said he would be willing to shift liability for misconduct to the police department versus an individual officer. But any change to qualified immunity is still a non-starter for some, says Republican Congressman John Rutherford, a former police officer and co-chair of the Congressional Law Enforcement Caucus.
I looked at the latest polling with Pew, and when asked about qualified immunity, most Americans feel that it should be addressed, that officers should be held accountable in some fashion.
Look, I want officers held accountable. I held officers accountable. I put officers in jail when I was sheriff, but they broke the law. But I didn't get to sue their families because the officer, followed the law and did everything right. No, officers need to be held accountable when they violate the law, when they violate policy, or they don't follow their training. I agree with that. And they are. They're sued every day. And they are held accountable all across this country. But to put good officers at risk financially is just wrong.
Why is qualified immunity something that Congress can't get past right now?
No loaf is not doing anything with qualified immunity. A full loaf is throwing qualified immunity out. So what's the half loaf? It's somewhere between where we are and where I would want to be if we had a perfect bill. And that's why I'm saying I would like to see something good done. And the perfect would be to totally eliminate qualified immunity. I will not throw out perfect for good.
The other hurdle, the Hill has a lot of work to do, perhaps even more so than in past attempts to get police reform through.
Since there are so many issues that are in front of Congress right now, big negotiations over so many things, infrastructure, we're still dealing with a pandemic. Are you at all concerned that this could get lost, police reform could get lost in that congressional shuffle?
Yes, well, I mean, not just what we have on the table, there's what we don't have on the table yet, because there might be a major national disaster or a major accident or something else. So that is the nature of this, which is why I feel the urgency to get this on President Biden's desk.